Hey YouTube, hi, good morning. Today we're going to learn a bit of HTML programming in the easiest of the manners. So HTML programming is, for starters, it is the most basic level of programming, and it creates web pages. All your web pages are created by HTML, and what you see written in the web pages are basically written in HTML. It is not just HTML, but it is a part of the web page. So you see HTML, you have CSS, and then you have JavaScript. All of this put together make a web page. But to get a basic understanding of a web page, what's written there, HTML is the most basic programming. Now, to write code in HTML, you need to have a text editor, and I have with me a very popular text editor. It's called Sublime Text. You pretty much can write any language here. It's a text editor which will recognize the language and change its color based on the syntax, and the syntax based on the language. So if we were to go and change the language here and say that I'm writing in HTML, it will automatically recognize that, and it will change the color and the tabs accordingly, and it will throw all the parameters based on HTML language. So let's just open our HTML page, and here we have, so any HTML has to begin with this particular syntax, which is doc type space HTML and close. This has to and there are three things that the HTML needs to have. The first thing is an HTML itself, the second thing is a head, and the third thing is a body. So we'll just mention this as HTML and close it. And as you can see, Sublime Text has automatically created a head, body, and HTML tag for us. So you have to have an open tag and a close tag for every HTML command, and Sublime Text is very good at doing this, so it automatically closes and creates these tags. Now if we dare just to write this code and run it, let's just see what happens. We just written HTML, which is basically telling the browser that this is an HTML file. We have written HTML on top and HTML on the bottom, and we are going to save this file and run it. So let's save this as Sunny, and just save it. And if I just run this file, so we created Sunny here. It just says head and body, so you can see that HTML actually has already created a head and a body here, where you can see that it's created something here. Very small, very simple, but this is what HTML is all about. It is everything that's written in your browser and what you see in the browser. Now let's go back to Sublime Text, which is the text editor, and let's just make some changes to it. So let's just say this is HTML, and I am going to create a head and close a head. Oops, see, look at, I just love Sublime Text. It just does everything that you have to do. And basically the head will contain details of the file, so it will contain things like the title of the file. So you can create a title tag, and this is the title, this is the title, and the head can also contain some metadata. So don't get confused, or don't get overwhelmed. Metadata is basically a tag which is created for helping the HTML recognize what kind of character sets you're using. So if you're using any special characters, it will be able to tell that. Okay, so if I write meta and then I write char set, and just follow this with me, and you have to just write UTF-8 and you're done. So this basically tells HTML that you have to look at character set which conforms to this particular nomenclature UTF, and this is basically a character set written in machine language, so this is very close to machine language, and this is how it communicates to the machines. So you just have to write this, and you have written the title, of course, so we can just indent it and you can leave it. Now for the body part, let's start writing something here. So let's say we want to write, this is my first HTML program, and I leave it. So now what's going to happen if I'm running this is, it's going to say this is my first HTML program. So now it's very clearly understood that this is the doc type, this is where the HTML is open, this is where it is closed, and everything under it is like this is the head of HTML. So this has got nothing to do with HTML itself, and this tells the HTML that this is the title and this is the character set it has to use. And once you have covered the head, once you've started the body, you then are in a position to write whatever you want to write. Now let's just take it a little further, I won't confuse it further, and let's just create a few headers. Now headers are basically, it's the same thing as it means as headers. So this could be a paragraph. Okay, so we could say that this is a paragraph, it's an ending paragraph, but we could also create a header. Now a header could be anything between 1 to 6. Okay, and you can choose to have 1 to 6. So let's have a header 1 which says I am bold, B-O-L-D, bold. Okay, and you have header 2 which says I am bolder, and you have header 3 which says, alright, let's say I am boldest. Oops, I thought it's gonna create that. And let's just see. Okay, you don't have to purchase it, it keeps telling you every 20 to 30 times when you save a file that you have to save it, you have to purchase it. Now let's just run it. So can you see that it says I'm bold, I'm bolder, I'm boldest. So header will determine the size. A paragraph will be anything that you write as a normal text, so this actually should come after the header. And you can also create a text, but in the text you can make it bold by writing the word strong inside it. So let's say if I cover this as strong, and I save it, this particular thing is going to become bold. Oops, it did not become bold. Oh, it should be strong. See, strong, and now it should work. So now you see this has become bold, while the rest of the rest of the line is in the same text. So this is what HTML does. This is the very basic level of programming that one can start off doing. It's very exciting. In the future chapters we're going to learn more about HTML, and we would learn also about CSS, which goes hand in hand with HTML, because it's like the decoration which will be provided around your HTML text. So with that, thank you very much. I appreciate any comments that you would have. Thank you and goodbye.